Welcome to our second part of our packing video. In this video, we will be sharing to you what we pack in the front and on the roof of our van. Also, what we bring for our tools. I hope you enjoy the video.
So over here, this is our plexiglass shelf right above the driver and front passenger seats. So in this far corner, we have our camping chairs. We have 4 camping chairs. Up here, we have our window blinds for the front. So these window blinds are used for, let's say we're in cities and we found a parking spot, but we don't want people to know that we are in here, so we just want more privacy. We would put these up, and this one goes in the front, these 2 on the sides, so when you look from outside, yellow is completely black. Here, we store like all our sunscreens or extra medicines, so these are just like extras. Here are some of our electronic things, like electronic wires, MacBook plugs, and electronic hairdryer. There's lots of plugs here and electronic things. If you look in the very back here, we have binoculars. So these binoculars we don't use as often, but they are really handy when we go sightseeing for views. Like in Canada, we used it very often to look at down mountains or when we're watching whales. Here is the orange bungee cord stretcher. That's what I think it's called. So this is used for when my parents are exercising or stretching. So we would attach this on top of our sliding door on the airplane rack, so then they are able to pull it. So let's say we're camping away from YOLO for a few hours, or it's like a picnic. So we would use this to charge our phones. So this is a solar panel charger, so you would just lay it out and put it in the sun. And there's this little compartment here that you can plug your whatever wires. It has to be USB and charge whatever you need. And you just fold it in like that, and it goes in the very corner here. So all of these 2 things I showed you go in the back. We also have this GoPro tripod. This is very handy for when we need to attach the GoPro or whatever camera that mounts onto here onto something. So let's say we're taking a family photo with the GoPro. We would attach this onto whatever bar there is and then use it as the tripod. This is our laundry line bag. So we have our laundry line that we would attach from YOLO to another tree or YOLO to another car. And over here, these white things, these are clips. So when we want to hang clothes, we can just clip them on so they won't fall off. Let's say it's windy. So these are very helpful. We have toques. So this is my dad's jacket toque bag. So it just lines up side the other bags. This is my mom's jacket bag, my jacket bag, Max's jacket bag. And this bag is for our extra gloves or toques, or just mittens in general for when we're going skiing or in cold places. And it just goes in like that. So now, let's say we're leaving the car and we need to go right away. We just pull our bag out, unzip, get whatever we need, and just put it back. So our jackets are easy accessible. Sometimes, let's say we're traveling with other Vanlifers, we use these walkie-talkies to communicate with each other. This one, you just click one button and talk whatever you need. We also use it for hiking. Let's say we're hiking in groups, or me and Max just hike much faster than my parents sometimes. So we would take a walkie-talkie, and my parents would check on us once in a while to make sure we're okay.
Hello everybody, and right now I'm going to show you the school drawer located under Zara's seat. When you open it, it locks when you open it fully, so that when we're driving and doing school and we do a big turn, it won't sway side to side. If there's someone here, it won't smash into them. And this drawer is wide enough for most textbooks, plus more space here. So in the extra space, we store pencil cases, dictionaries, thesaurus, and other things.
Down in the very bottom, right by the passenger seat, front passenger seat, we store our broom. It's easy accessible, so let's say we came from the beach and we need to broom our feet, or we just made a big mess on the floor. We just grab the broom from here and just sweep. Over here we have our mag light. We have 2 mag lights in the van, one here and one in the very front in the driver area. So These mag lights are very helpful for when we are trying to find sleeping spots. Let's say we've been driving for the whole day, we found a sleeping spot, but it's very slopey, so we would use our mag light to search for rocks to help us balance or find a very nice spot to sleep. Here we have our air horn. We haven't used it yet, but it's used for emergencies, for like something happens, we would like to call someone. We have our cell phone tripod here. This is very helpful for when we are in cities. So we would just carry this around in our backpack, open it up. It can be used as a selfie stick and a tripod. So this is when we take family photos or just photos in general. We also have this GoPro floaty tripod. Not really a tripod, but a handle. When we take, let's say, surfing photos or just swimming photos and snorkeling, we would attach our GoPro onto here. And it floats in the water. So let's say a big wave came and we lost our grip of the handle. Most of the time we have our straps on, but sometimes, let's say, that doesn't work. So we can see the GoPro when it floats up, and it's very bright and neon, so we are able to see it if we do let go of it. Down here we have our spray bottle. So this is used for, let's say we came from the grocery store and we need to wash our hands because of COVID. We would just spray our hands, wipe, and then step inside. We have 3 cleaning bottles here. So this is one. There's 2 in the passenger and the driver seats, and I will show you them. The driver's seat side is this one. So let's say my dad, he's talking to a toll man and he exchanged money. Then he would just clean his hands and yeah. And it's easy accessible right over here. We have our masks. My dad's mask is over here. So like what I said, he was talking to the toll man and he needs to wear his mask. It's easy accessible. We also store our other masks for the family over up here. We sometimes have extra masks for when, let's say we keep using our mask and we've been in this really dirty place that's crowded with lots of people around. We would put one of our masks in the laundry and get a new one, so we always have a backup. Down here at the very bottom is the other mag light. So let's say my dad doesn't have time going over there, or let's say there's 2 people searching for a sleeping spot. We would get 2 mag lights and look around, or if someone is outside, we can use the mag light to just look around to see what's going on. And it's stored right underneath my dad's seat. Up here, there is this storage area. We use this area to charge lots of things because there's these USB plugs and the cigarette lighter plug here. And there's many wires here in the front because let's say we're driving and we use the phone as a GPS. That way we have a wire to plug the phone into. And we have a boombox here too. So since there's lots of wires, we charge our boombox here in the front, and if we are watching a movie in the back, we can just take this boombox and put it in the back. When we're traveling, we realize that having like a portable phone charger or USB charger is very helpful because not all the time, you're not always going to be in the van. So let's say the solar panel I showed you earlier to charge your phones or whatever you need with the USB is too big to carry and you're walking around in the city, you can just bring this small portable USB charger to charge your phones or GoPro whenever you need it. My dad has his own headphones over here. They're stored just on the top. So let's say he needs to call someone and he needs more privacy, or just everyone's talking around him, he can put on his headphones so the noise and his voice is more clear to the people he's calling. This bag has lots of headlights. So let's say we're just going out at night. We don't need our mag light because it's probably too bright and we're just like talking with people outside. We can use these lights to shine wherever we need to. Let's say we're just searching for a few twigs for a fire. We can use these headlights to do so. Right now we are on the passenger side, so this is usually where my mom sits. She has her garden, a mini garden over here. It's very helpful for when she's cooking. She can have fresh produce from like, let's say, mint or basils, so that's to help her with cooking. Down here we usually store our Canada flag. Up top we have our sunglasses case. We don't usually have our sunglasses inside here because we hang them over here on this rope. But these are just if we need to take our sunglasses out. Let's say we're going in a hotel, we will put our sunglasses in here. So those containers are stored up here. Our sunglasses, if you notice, they're with these other bigger glasses. These are safety glasses. Let's say we're going in malls or churches or just close areas where there's not enough airflow during the COVID times. So we would take these glasses, and it helps us cover our eyes to stop the virus from coming into our eyes, along with our mask. My mom's hand sanitizer is located on the door. So let's say she's talking to someone from outside. She just opens the door and it's right there on the side pocket here. Down here we have 3 yoga mats. You can take the yoga mats out easily with just a click of this. And then there's 3 yoga mats, 1, 2, 3. There's usually one for me, my mom, and my brother, but my brother and my dad usually share one because they don't do yoga as much as me and my mom. So they are stored right down here, easy accessible to get from outside. You just open the door, unclip, and pull one mat out. Over here is my dad's seat, which is the driver's seat. He has lots of things down here. This one is to lock our steering wheel. So let's say we're in cities that many people have said is dangerous or there's lots of break-ins. So let's say we would put this steering wheel lock on our steering wheel like this. So if someone manages to get in and wants to drive our car, they can because it's locked. So this is helpful, but we don't use this that often. Here is where our mag light is, which I showed you earlier. It just clips on and onto that little clip. Over here is our machete. It's very helpful for when we need to cut wood for a fire. If you look over here, we have an axe. That axe is also helpful to cut wood during fires, or there's something in the way, we could just cut it off. This is my dad's serrated saw. This is very helpful for when we're going down narrow roads and there's twigs in the way that we need to cut off. So we can just use this. It's easy accessible on the door to just cut them off and make a clear path for YOLO. Here is just a small knife that my dad has. Other tools here. We have this measuring tape to, let's say right now my dad is trying to design something. So he would use the measuring tape to see how long whatever he's building inside the computer is in real life. So this is handy. We also have this little knife. It's mainly used for whittling for us right now. Max likes to whittle a lot, so he makes lots of cool swords with this knife. So this is also handy. So here is our toolie box on top of our roof. Inside we have our helmets. We used these helmets when we were skiing in North Macedonia, and we used to use them when we were bicycling when we used to have our bikes. We have our winter clothes, and in the back we have our off-season blankets. So let's say right now it's sometimes rainy and a little cold once in a while, but today's just a special day. We have our thick blankets, our thick duvets. Inside here we have our summer blankets, so those thin ones. So once it gets really hot, we will just eventually switch them and have our thick duvets in here and thin blankets inside. Here we have our sleeping bag. So let's say it feels like a special day and we want to go camping outside of YOLO. We would bring our sleeping bag out and our tent, which is stored over here. We would just camp inside our tent with the sleeping bag. Over here we store a little bit more off-season clothes, that let's say socks and gloves that we won't use because it's getting a little warmer now. And over here we have it's like our extra awning tent. It's not exactly like a sleeping tent, it's more to just give us shade. So up here, we're in the roof on top of YOLO. We have our paddleboard and surfboard over here, and they are attached to this rack my dad made. The paddle for the paddleboard is right underneath everything right here in the corner. We have this generator. The generator is very helpful for when like it's a cloudy day and we're not getting enough sun from, or not enough energy from our solar panels, so we would turn on our generator, and that's how we are able to make energy and warm up our car. Here we have our recovery tracks. These recovery tracks are very helpful when we're off-roading and we get stuck. So we use these very often. It all matters on what you like doing. So we like off-roading very much, so these are very helpful. Here we have our bodyboards. So we use these bodyboards a lot in Morocco when there's like wind, there's waves. So we would go bodyboarding a lot. We have 2 bodyboards in this bag, one for me and one for Max. If my dad or my mom ever want to go bodyboarding too, we can always just switch out. In the very back farthest over there, we have our wetsuits. The wetsuits over here, we have about a top piece wetsuit with long sleeve for like warm-ish water that we just want to go short time swimming in. And we also have a long sleeve and full wetsuit for when we're going snorkeling or diving anytime. We also have flippers to help us snorkel or dive, and with our tubes, our mask, and we also have gloves for if the water's really cold. We also have this shovel. It is stored right on the driver's side of the car in the front area. We use this shovel for when we need to dig something out, like when we're off-roading or when we're trying to make a fire pit so we can have a warm fire. So I will show you how we put it in. Sticks onto here on the side with these rubber straps, and it's good to go to drive. So it's also easy access for whenever we get stuck, the driver just climbs up and takes it off.
Hello. A lot of people have asked what we carry, what type of tools we carry in YOLO on our trip. We carry not a lot of things, but the essentials to maintain YOLO and to help along the way with various people we meet for their cars and for their houses. So these tools have come in handy, and for the most part we have used almost all of it. So I can go through them individually and tell you guys why we carry them, and let's go. So the big things are, we have a set of wrenches. We carry, because we're in Canada, we carry a metric set and an imperial set, because in YOLO especially, parts from Canada, we have parts from the United States which takes imperial, so we carry imperial sets as well. We have zap straps, 3 or 4 different sizes of cable ties. We call them zap straps. Those are very handy to tie various things, connect hoses, tie things down on the truck, or lots of things. Different size of tape, different types of tape, duct tape, fiber tape, painting tape. We have black touch-up paint in case you do any drilling or any scrapes. You can touch that up very fast. Tire repair kit. Thankfully these are still new and still in packages. In case we do run into drive over nails, we can repair our tires, but they're still there. They're still new, so thankfully we haven't needed to use them. Teflon tape for pipe fittings. Silicone just for various seals. We have 3 or 4 different adapters for propane tanks. So we have a Canadian propane tank, and because we're traveling through Europe and Africa and Asia now, each country or each region has their own propane adapters. So we carry enough different adapters. We bought a kit when we started our trip that we can connect to most of the propane fill-up station hoses. So our propane tank can be adapted to be filled with all the regions we come into. So these have come in handy, and we have just various fittings for just in case. Epoxy glue, gasket material to seal up anything, just some extra brackets, random brackets. We used to have a bike rack. These were being used, but now we don't, so we just keep them just in case we want to use them in the future for who knows what will happen. When we did our repair, cleanup of YOLO at the mechanic shop, touch-up paint. They give us a bottle of touch-up paint, so we carry that in case we have little rock chips, we can touch them up. Wire brush, just to clean off various things. Most of the roof rack and our bed and some of the cabinets inside YOLO is made up of these aluminum extrusions. So these are just little spare parts in case we do need to fix or replace various things. It's nice to have them here just in case. Hacksaws, metal saws. We carry 2 of them because that's what we bought them in. How many we bought, and we don't carry the saw handle because it's too bulky, and for the most part you get the saw blade and you put a cloth around it. We can use and cut various things, just enough, and so that works out. We have a file, we have adjustable wrenches. We have 2. We keep one right by the driver door, just so when we do get to water taps, and some of the water taps that we run into don't have the handles, they're broken off, it's nice to have an adjustable wrench to just grab onto the knob, the valve, and turn it. So we have 2 of them. Pliers, pretty self-explanatory. We have some just painting brushes to clean. Screwdrivers, rubber bumpers, these are sticker rubber bumpers, so that we can put on doors, and just so metal to metal contact doesn't happen. 2 bags are just various screws and washers and nuts that we need, or just spare parts. They're sorted into M4, M5, M6. We have some imperial screws as well that we might use. So these are just spare parts. Smaller screwdrivers, short ones. This is our small compressor. This will inflate our tires if we need to when our tires are flat, and our bike tires. So this works off the cigarette lighter, and this inflates the tires. Yes, Sarah? Okay. Sarah has reminded us nicely that this also inflates soccer balls and basketballs when those balls are flat. We carry a black spray can for painting, and extra oil for lubricating or greasing a bunch of things. Loctite, so we are very diligent in when we use any screws in the car, we put Loctite on them so they don't they don't rattle loose as we're driving. So all screws in YOLO have been Loctited, so we carry this. If we need to take out a screw and put it back, we put Loctite in them again. These are WD-40 greasers, so these are just for various maintenance things or lubricants. We carry 2 of them. We have a set of drill bits just to make holes. Along with that, we have our cordless drills and an extra battery pack. So these are our socket sets. We carry the deep sockets, metric and imperial again. We don't carry the short ones because the deep ones will work with the short ones, and so we carry enough. And we have Allen keys, also metric for red, and then imperial for yellow, and then torque sets. So 3 sets are stored in here. They pack together very nicely in this case. This tool bag is mostly electrical stuff. We have a voltmeter, a multimeter. In the pouch we have a lot of crimpers, all the ends to make connections, labels. So every time we do connection and run new wires or replace wires, we label them just so I will remember or someone else will remember in the future. Fuses, wire cutter, crimping tools, a small screwdriver set. In this tool bag is to fix anything electrical related. These are the grinding stones to sharpen knives when our knives get dull. Speaking of knives, we carry just a handful of Leatherman and just pocket knives to sharpen, cut a few things. In the past few months, these 2 knives have been used by the kids to whittle various things. We also have utility knives here with spare blades. We have a tire pressure gauge. This is a folding saw. This actually stays near the driver, actually on the driver door pocket. We use this quite often when we are in narrow, skinny roads with trees, branches coming onto the road, because YOLO is pretty tall and pretty big and narrow roads. Sometimes we have to get out and cut the branches before we drive through, otherwise we might get lots of scrapes. Along with this folding saw, we have branch cutter. These are for smaller branches, these are for bigger branches. So they work together, they sit right beside the driver's seat, ready to be used when we are in skinny roads. I think that's about it. We don't carry a lot of tools, but these are sort of the essential tools we have, just enough to support, maintain for YOLO, and half the other time we try to help out various people along the way that we meet. Okay, hope that helps. If you have any questions, comment below in our YouTube channel, and please subscribe. Thank you.
I hope this video was helpful and entertaining for you. If you haven't already, check out our first part of our packing video to see what clothes and kitchen supplies we bring on our trip. Stay safe everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye!